Rabbi, which this day gives life into the month of Elul, into the service of Elul, infusing the teachings of Chasidus into the whole service of the month of Elul, with joy, with excitement, transforming the entire experience of tshuva in preparation for Rosh Hashanah and slichut. Seret Yemei Tshuva is transformed by the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov Rabbi. We go with great feelings of confidence that Hashem is our Father in heaven, and He loves to see His children returning and coming closer. And this is the essence of what Chasidus teaches. There's no reason to be depressed when it comes to the high holidays and in preparation. We go in the month of Elul through with great joy and excitement, with confidence. That it should be fulfilled the year of the Heishanat Oseh Tov, the year that Hashem does good on His promise.
Amen.
Does good on the promise of redemption and Mashiach.
Okay.
Sounds like a simple Rosh Hashanah does good, but really it is doing good on the promise.
Hi, sorry, I didn't go ahead. How's it going?
We have to thank you,
For what?
Because of you, we've got so many people now.
Oh,
Every week we meet with you. Okay. Cheers.
thank you.
Yeah. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't have your claim yet.
Finished it.
Oh, wow. All right. Now I'm breakfast. It's good for your students tomorrow.
There's a song called Three Tenuot, which is known to be composed by the Baal Shem Tov, by the Magid, and also there's three parts to the song. One part by the Baal Shem Tov, the other part by the Magid. How does it go?
said like the prophets, the guys in the boat, and the wind is pushing them in. He says, God, if you save me, I'll give everything God back to you. And then the wind is shooting like that.
Never mind that. God, never mind. I already took care of
I
it.
took care of it.
He's already taken care of it.
No. Did he win or no?
No. But they're pulling him in, that there's recounts and there's different issues, and so there's like point of a percentage point.
Mr. Schneider?
Like, yeah, a few hundred votes difference. Alan Schneider, Alan Schneider.
I knew his ex-wife
Yeah, he lives in Weston, no?
and his kids. And both of his kids.
His boy is a good boy, exactly.
Yeah. How do you know that?
It's not a drink. That's not
Oh, really?
No business.
Mhm.
But we give him a bracha that he should pull off a
Oh,
win.
nice.
How about the Mizrah?
And another year will put on tefillin every day.
All right.
Whether it be in the condition, doesn't matter.
I was in New York 4 weeks ago. And whatever, my ticket was wrong on Friday. So I couldn't make it back for Shabbos. I was like very disappointed.
What did you do? You stayed in New York.
What did I do to stay in New York?
I mean, your ticket was from where?
From New York back here.
So you couldn't take the flight.
I couldn't take the flight. So I stand next to the guy. And I'm like, and he tells me, it's gonna be alright. I reckon he's a Jew. So I said, we're both waiting on a standby ticket.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let me do a mitzvah. But I said, if the guy's gonna tell me that I can go on the plane on the standby, what do I do with my phone? I keep it on his head, I run away. So he I said, let me just do the Shema Yisrael Hashem Ken Hashem Echad and run away. And then I said, just till do v'shorecha. And he says all Shema. And I take off his phone, and the guy tells me the flight is leaving, there's no more standbys on the flight. 2 minutes, I'm standing over there waiting for luck. A minute or two later, the guy runs back. He says, where's the selfie you took? You got to send me a picture of it. I said, for what? I said, because I want to remember to do it every day from now on.
Oh, wow.
You imagine?
Nice.
A Jew from Long Island.
That's why you had to miss your flight.
That's why I missed my flight.
Very good.
For a Jew to put on tefillin. I have it, and I have it in the closet. I know exactly where it is. I said, let's put it on. He says, Rabbi, I'm going to do it.
We have many stories of tefillin on planes. It's the easiest.
Time to grab them.
Yes, it's the easiest time because no one's in a rush. They're sitting there, never tied in. And that's the reason why you're sitting next to it. That's why I understand why Hashem orchestrates this. But you have to make an effort. You have to get up and do something. That's not going to happen.
You have to ask.
You have to ask.
Describe
Just ask.
the best technique.
Yeah. The best technique is point at the tefillin.
Did you do it already?
You know what the tefillin is.
Latest
You don't have to
ideas
say a
for
word. You don't have to talk. It's the best technique.
Talk is cheap.
And then you could start talking about that, but that's the first reaction.
Hi.
Chaim.
I don't know.
I was forgetting my nap.
Good. You want to say when you were in Lodz? When you were growing up? Or
Of course.
what was that like?
I used to take the bus. Well, in America, I take the train. I used to take the bus. And I used to take it to Machanet Tzrifim. There's a military base. Used to stand right outside the military base. And Friday, everybody is going. A lot of soldiers go home. There's also a big hospital right there. So that was a big stop. It was almost a half a class used to go there because you stand both sides of all four sides of the street. And also there's a huge bridge in between. There's a lot of soldiers used to stand over there. So yeah.
Lucky.
That's where I used to be too.
What year was this, 1985?
Yeah, really around. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, right in there.
Sorry.
Okay, we have in your book a little bit of the Alter Rebbe stuff.
85, I wasn't bar mitzvah yet.
Was you bar mitzvah? 89?
87?
87?
Yeah.
That
Number
makes
74, yeah?
74.
74 plus 16, 87. No, 71.
71?
84 bar mitzvah.
What?
I was bar mitzvah 84.
Oh, really?
It's funny when I left your house yesterday.
I just remember when we celebrated 40 years of it. That was a long time ago. Wow, time flies.
But not that long ago. Few renovations.
And I left really late on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I ever seen that they were playing football over here.
In the street?
No, by the
Oh, the high school?
by the high school.
Okay.
So what else? I remember the story because I just heard the story recently.
Oh, about me playing
About
football?
you. Why Jim decided to start keeping Shabbos and this. Tell the story. One of the stories.
Playing football?
First, that's still kind.
Was playing football?
The school over here.
So there's a high school here, Hollywood Hills,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Shmuley was driving back Friday afternoon after the Farayan to go home for Shabbos. So he saw that they were playing high school football. The high school football is always Friday night,
Oh, that's the day?
Yeah, Friday night is high school, Saturday is college, Sunday is pro. That's how they do it.
Okay.
So, so it reminded me of a story that my father must have told him. When I was like 14, 15, I was playing tackle football. It was like the Optimus League in West Palm Beach. And so I remember it was Friday late afternoon, and it was like after practice. I'm sitting in the, sitting in the dirt on the field, and the coach is telling you stuff. Practice is ending, and it must have been like winter, so it was early. So people were already walking to shul. Because I went to NB Senior High, so it's right at that. So I remember looking at these people walking to shul. I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I doing here? So my father picked me up. I forgot the story, but I told my father. He picked me up. I must have told him what was going through my mind, because he still talks about it today. Like, there's moments of epiphany where you kind of keep it in your back pocket, and slowly you get to where you're supposed to be.
You must have said much more than what he tells over.
I don't even remember the conversation, but yeah. But
That's not what a Jewish boy does on Friday night.
No, but there's something you learn though by playing. There's nothing like when the wind gets knocked out of you and you can't breathe, and it's like, hey, you learn something.
So it was Yidden walking to shul.
Yeah. That's it. I always tell people, even even as a boy, I was in elementary school. I grew up off 50 Roads, right near Bruce Wankin was like the only shliach in town at the time, I guess. So it was like by the late 70s, maybe early 81 or whatever. And I remember one day vividly, we were driving, it was raining.
You knew him? You knew his name?
No, I didn't really know him at all, but I saw,
You saw, recognized the...
I didn't see him. I saw, it must have been, I don't know, there's older children, who was, but people walking in the rain. And I just knew in my mind, we were driving by, I just knew in my mind that even if we asked them if we offered them a lift, they wouldn't take. I knew that. I had something registered in my head,
You didn't even bother offering the lift.
I wasn't even driving. I was a kid in the back seat, but I just, but I'm just saying, I I just had it's registered. Many years later, I was the guy walking in the rain. It's just, but it's just funny. Yeah.
It's also interesting that people are so nearsighted, and they think, oh, they have to walk, and they, why can't they just get in the car?
Mm.
You have to get wet. The whole, influence of Shabbos is when you see people walking to shul.
Yeah.
Who would see anyone going to shul?
Yeah.
It would be everyone in the car, like a regular day.
Yeah.
No, people stop.
Yeah,
You want to ride?
Mm.
No, I'm okay. I said, so take the umbrella. I'm fine, thank you. Like it happens,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the raincoat. So
But it's also those walking like you
I don't know if you
influence.
live in Florida.
It's
They
like,
just decided to come, and you don't even know that you needed a coat 2 seconds later.
but it's like shirka, like you're doing a mitzvah, you don't even know, like you're influencing people without even knowing.
the story of the Rebbe with the American shluch.
What?
The story of the Rebbe with the summer program that the Bachram going to different cities.
Yeah.
Where there's no Jewish infrastructure, and they had to find a Yid, but they came back and they said we wasted our time,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't find even one Yid in the whole entire summer program.
Mm-hmm.
The Rebbe told them that it was, he got a letter from someone
Mm-hmm.
that saw them walking,
Mm-hmm.
and she reminded herself of the grandparents
Mm-hmm.
walking with the beard and the tzitzis was sticking out, and that gave her an inspiration to do tshuva. Come closer to her roots. So that was the shlichus, just a walk in the street.
Mm-hmm. That's big.
So the further you walk, the better.
Now, a word from our sponsor. Station identification.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Israel walks a lot. So,
It won't bother you until Shmini Atzeres, Hakafis, at Chabad, rocking the house. Not just Yetzes, I know, Yetzes, I know, we do Hakafis. It's celebrate Hakafis. Giving you already the invitation. The night of Sukkot, last night of the Sukkah,
it's Sunday night.
Sunday night this year.
Everything is Sunday night.
Barbecue dinner, and Hakafis.
Sunday night, Monday night. Have a very exciting itinerary for the next month.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You arrange your schedule already?
Just about. Yeah.
It's one long weekend. Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
It's always a long month.
It works out. I'm on call. It actually works out. I'm on call every weekend of right before Sukkot.
Like Sunday. Shabbos Sunday.
So, which means two things. One is my responsibility of putting up the sukkah.
You're already starting now.
I've already given notice.
You remember that?
I've already given notice.
It's not ducted all of my head.
And then but I won't be on call then for the rest of Sukkot or start.
No bar mitzvahs, bas mitzvahs, brises.
Oh, for me, no. Baruch Hashem, they all went swimmingly well. Yeah. We had a bat mitzvah on Sukkot for my Rivka. No, it's for Tasa.
First, she was born on Sundays.
Yeah, they were both the first day Sukkot. Yeah. Bat mitzvah was 2015, and it was like 2.5 hours before Yom Tov, and the whole sukkah fell down.
And for some reason, I was driving by that second. It wasn't meant to happen.
And he abducted in his car.
And I got in my car, and I had extension cords in my car. We ended up tying the circuits and the extension cords and duct tape. What do you call the Yosef fences? Okay.
That's just who we ran into in the airport.
In the airport, yeah.
We were coming back from the aisle. We were in LaGuardia, And we see Yossi running this way.
Yeah.
He's like, give me a blessing. I missed my plane.
The blessing is you missed it already.
Where was he going? He was coming here also.
I don't know where he was going.
He was running.
He was like trying to get to the next terminal to catch another plane.
He was wearing slippers.
His shorts, t-shirt. He's like, what happened to your kippah? He said, I don't know. They you can get my kippah out of Brooklyn. Yeah.
L'chaim. Mashiach now.
I mean, yeah. But this stuff. This year, Nessa wants the sukkah on the patio.
It's nice.
The screening's down, so.
So he got it on the back.
New, but there's no screening, so we can put the sukkah.
Oh.
I kind of like it in the driveway because everyone sees it.
Those metal poles.
Little poles. Plus, it's the you can make it.
Keep it for a year.
If people are walking by,
Oh, people walking by.
and then you say, "Come on, say l'chaim."
Yeah.
But
He check on the Chaim. He check on the Chaim.
That's the only chesar. Maybe make a small sukkah in the front.
Yeah, or like people in Grandview don't have a sukkah, so
Grandview.
no sukkah.
We do one for the fairways. I don't know about the Grandview.
No, but they would make one themselves, but the condo won't let. Yeah.
So what do the people on the Grandview do?
You know, like well, their parents, their friends. I don't know.
The worst can happen that they can give him a notice that they have to take it down in 7 days.
Yeah.
They shouldn't listen to me saying.
Huh?
Speak to Rabbi Linsky.
That was a big, I don't remember it, but in like Bohemia, they used to do a parade in front of 7-7. We used to put like the big banners.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have those escape ladders in 7-7 anymore.
No, they don't have
So in the old days, it used to be like not in 7-7, but but it's said by the officers. By the officers. So there used to be escape ladders. So they used to attach like things. The psukim used to be attached over there. So they always they got a notice one year that they get paid. They better take it out in the next 7 days.
They used to like to leave it up there.
Yeah, for a while. I mean, certain years used to like. But it's not nice because sometimes they didn't take it off till it became like mamish.
Dirty.
Like cut and flying.
Yeah. Better off to take it off when it's nice. People remember it's nice.
Those fire escapes, they don't need
You
it.
took it off? I don't know.
All over New York, you have fire escapes.
Not in new buildings,
Well, maybe because it's only
offices, it's not homes.
residents.
No, now that you think, I'm thinking like when did they take it off? Maybe after they enlarged the construction. Sometimes when you think about things, I'm not so good at it, but certain people remember like
What year was it?
tough shin went up.
Kavshin Mem
What do you mean?
that's it. Oh, look who's there, Eliezer himself.
The man in the middle.
What's your name?
Is he sure the same name?
Kind of.
Manishma?
Can
Can Kyle for bring it?
Say l'chaim.
Today was a pretty long one today.
Yep. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Oh, what was it?
Birthdays.
So the Barash, Shab saying minor.
No.
Yeah, something like that.
Not right now. You know the Chaim's got held up in the mail.
Yeah. You don't have Chayim this week.
Why not?
The credit cards got swapped out. And they just cut it off. They didn't call me like,
Don't you get like 2-3 weeks in ahead?
yeah, but
Or you weren't thinking that that's the next shipment?
they
or whatever?
send me an email. I don't look at every Chayim email.
Right.
It says like, yo, your order went out. Or we just shipped your order. I don't click on it. So one of the emails says your credit card got declined.
Oh, yeah, this is a good thing. Yeah. You want to explain it?
Go for it.
So, where's the Chaim?
Was I right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Thanks.
As usual.
I had a big argument in my house today with my daughter.
How about the Chaim?
No, I'm always wrong.
old is she? She's 7? Tough crowd. Okay, so the beginning of the Hayom talks about the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov in 1698. On the same day his master was revealed to him, it was the Shechia Shiloni. That was in 1724. And it's the date on which the Baal Shem Tov was revealed as Rebbe in 1734. Today is also the birthday of the Alter Rebbe, 1745. A digest of the teaching delivered by the Baal Shem Tov after Kabbalah Shabbos on the eve of Parsha Kisava, which is our Parsha this week, on Chai Elul 1892. Well, how could he deliver in 1892? Hold on, let's check the footnote.
When it says he was revealed as a Rebbe, I mean, it's in parentheses, so I don't know if it's in Hebrew.
The Rebbe Rashab experienced a vision in which he heard about.
But what does that mean? I mean, as a Rebbe? I mean, before the Baal Shem Tov, I mean, that was there.
No, the Baal Shem Tov himself was a hidden tzaddik. He was in hiding, and the people didn't know who he was.
No, they're using Rebbe as Tzaddik and Tzaddik as interchangeable, or?
No, so in the lesson of the actual Yom Yom, it says, Yom Shenitgale HaBaal Shem Tov, Kaf Tzadik. What does that mean?
Because
Tzaddik.
he made from one chair to the next.
Okay. So, but the point here is that the teaching, so this teaching, so it's saying that the Rebbe Rashab had a vision of the, welcome. Give it a little time for treasured guest.
Not a guest.
I know, member of Anash. Send it down there.
Barash.
Thank you.
Be safe. Chaim,
Nishmas.
Eilu Nishmas? Who's the Eilu Nishmas?
Why are we doing this?
Oh, the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov.
Birthday Bashad. Oh,
And Alter Rebbe. Same.
the Alter Rebbe. Oh, birthday.
Yeah.
Teachers should go on.
Amen.
I'd be asking Mashiach to Keno be Meir Avi Ameinu.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol niyeh b'dvarav.
Amen.
Amen.
So we're learning a teaching from Baal Shem Tov that I just read now, and it's the Rebbe Rashab. The Rebbe Rashab had a vision of this teaching that Baal Shem Tov giving over in Gan Eden about 130 something years after he had left the world. The Rebbe Rashab experienced a vision in which he heard the Baal Shem Tov deliver this teaching in Gan Eden. So that's why the Rebbe Rashab gave it over in Chai Elul 1892. And the pasuk in our parsha regarding Bikurim. The pasuk says it will come to pass when you come to the land, and then they explains in the teaching is so in the Hebrew, so you come to the land, Eretz, right? So it says, "Vayaki tavo," when you come El Eretz, etc. You come into the land. As indicated by the Midrash, the word Eretz shares a root with Merutza. Eretz l'shon Merutza, l'shon Ratzon, k'di'ita b'Midrash. As du zust. Was Zukman zum Ratzon. Yiddish isn't so good. So the idea of Eretz being Ratzon will, so you can interpret the verse this way: when you attain a will, a desire to do God's bidding, such a will being both a heavenly gift and an inheritance present in every Jew. And it says that pasuk goes on, you will settle, meaning you'll settle down. When you settle, I mean your task, you're then to anchor in a settled way. If this spiritual aspiration, you have to do God's will, has to be anchored in you in a settled way. And then the pasuk continues, you will take, your things, you'll put it in the basket. What does this mean? It means you'll thereby draw down lights into vessels. The idea of the basket being the keli, and the job you're doing is drawing down lights. And then the pasuk continues, and you'll go to the place the Lord your God chooses, talking about Bikurim. So a Jew must realize that wherever he goes, from one place to another place, if he's walking in Wisconsin, or wherever it is he's doing Messiah, or just walking on Shabbos, so a Jew must realize when he goes from place to place, this is not his own doing, but he's being led from above in the way of, with the intention, as the pasuk goes on, to make his name dwell there. Right? That's what the pasuk continues. You'll go to the place the Lord your God chooses and make his name dwell there, meaning that you'll make godliness known in that place wherever it is you go. The story continues that after Mariv, the Baal Shem Tov repeated the above teaching and added the following interpretation. On the pasuk, it will come to pass when you come to the land. He says, in order to attain a will, meaning the ratzon, like we said before, to do God's bidding in a spiritual way, you must go to the place to make his name dwell there. You must devote your life to make godliness known there. So then he asks the rhetorical question: how does one make godliness known? No, how do you make godliness known in any particular place? You make a bracha and a verse of Tehillim. We used to say all the time, the bracha is drawing down, and Tehillim makes it known. See the footnote for 1537 from Sefer Sichos. So, anyway, that's the Hayom Yom.
So wherever we go, so purpose, the divine providence.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you do when you get there.
Don't let the opportunity pass. Take advantage of it. I shared the story a few times about on the plane to Israel. On the way there, I had a story, and the way back. The way there, we took a flight in the morning. We couldn't daven before the plane took off. It was dark. Once the flight was in the air, and they finished bussing around the drinks and everything, so whoever had tefillin, thousands tefillin, they jumped up and they started davening.
At their own seats.
In their own seats, yeah. No minion, or because it's a small plane, you can't really, there's no corner that you could gather. And I did the same thing. Because once the plane lands in Ben Gurion and everything, it's already 1, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's too late. So I finished, took my tefillin in my hand, I started walking down the aisle, pointing to the tefillin. Okay, Mamalo, guys putting on, making my way down. Took me a while to get to the other side. The other side of the plane, there's 2 young guys. They had their sleeves rolled up, ready to put on film. But we have to ask the question first. We watched everybody on the plane that had it film. They got up to put on film, and then they sat down. And then we see you coming and making around. Why were you the only one to offer us to put on film? How come no one else? There's tons of people. No one else cared to offer, and you see we're ready to do it, and we saw many people put on it too. How come no one offered? That's what they asked.
What a question.
It's only to gain because you're including people. Even if they say no, they feel that you included them. You offered it, and it's only a positive, great positive energy. So I started telling them that it's the Barash Rabbi that taught us to include every year, and the value of a mitzvah shouldn't be underestimated. And doing one mitzvah leads to another mitzvah. But that experience was a special one, a unique one, because not always you feel excited about making rounds on the airplane. But that really definitely gave it a good push. On the way back, it was a packed plane. It wasn't a morning flight, it was an afternoon. And after we take off, there was a big commotion. There was an argument behind me, in the seat behind me. And we were fighting and arguing and everything, and they called the stewardess, big commotion, I didn't even know what was going on. And then one of my kids starts talking about it. So I turn around and I ask the guy what's happening. He says, see this Aisha Zoti, she doesn't want to move. There's
One of those.
2 empty seats over here on the side, and she's holding the whole row. And I want to go in. I'm sitting stuck in the middle over here. I want to jump in and sit by the window. There's an empty seat. And he was like maybe Faked Savar or something, and he was commanding the students, you could tell her to move. You're the boss. And they were saying, no, we can't. She doesn't want to move. We can't move. The kids, I tell the guy, you want to make a deal? I'll make a deal with you.
Let me hear.
I told him. I was listening, it was like, he was paying attention to what I'm saying. Tell him, you put on tefillin, and I'll give you a seat. So he said, yeah, deal. That was the first thing he said. He was like, how are you going to do that? But he said, deal. And then I told him, I whipped out a boarding pass. Let me see, it's my seat. My daughter was supposed to fly and she didn't. And I was the empty seat.
Very good.
And right next to her was another empty seat. So that was the only two empty seats.
So you could have stretched out a little bit, but you were in Michael.
So I
Very
showed,
nice.
and as soon as I
So
showed
your daughter
him
got
that,
mitzvah too.
he said, okay, when we get there, do the tefillah. I said, no. Out of the plane. And he jumped up and did it.
Very nice.
And
You
he
got
told
to
me it was the first time in his life he put on film.
Wow.
He said his grandfather's a Holocaust survivor. And
Right.
it wasn't that he was against it, he just didn't feel. But he said now that I did it, it felt good.
Good.
And he said that he'll do it again. And he went with me when I went around on the plane. He went with me. I didn't even ask him. He walked with me, this guy.
Wow.
And he said, I need my bleeds. Yeah?
Bodyguard.
He said, I suggest that you
Very
put it
nice.
Wow.
on. And then he got the seat, and the lady that was sitting there, she was French. She said, I'm happy you put the feeling on.
So she caused it.
She got a mitzvah too, indirectly.
I got this.
So
Wow.
you see how divine providence, things happening.
So we have to be open, and we're doing
Why-
it for ourselves. Mind our own business. Look around. Maybe there's some.
There's always a reason why you ended up on this
That's
point.
right.
And
And
why
that's
those
it.
people decided to go this time.
That's right.
There's always a reason for it. So now when I was taking my son to Chicago Yeshiva.
Your son's in Chicago?
Yeah.
Oh, I go there pretty often. So,
It's right next to the Aguda Shul. Across the street is about Yeshiva.
what street is it? Devon or Tui? You know, street?
California Street.
Oh, California. Oh, yeah. Okay, California near. Okay. There's an Aguda. Pratt. Oh, yeah, it could be Pratt. Okay, Pratt. Yeah, Pratt Street. Okay. I know. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah.
Go say hello to him.
Yeah. That's what. So,
He goes
I'll
every
go
month.
see-
Goes every month. Gesinne-Fleisch.
He has flesh over there. He said the story about sending flesh to Yeshiva or something.
Romanian. I don't know if it's Chasidus or Shrita. Maybe that's Aurora packing. I don't know.
So that's the mindset. You're always.
Wow.
Also, when I was flying, also there was a guy sitting in front of me, a kid. They were talking English, but then his wife said "motzetzi." Motzetzi is a passive.
Yeah, that's what's that.
Over here. Got put on tefillin also on the plane.
Wow.
So it's good stuff. So if a yid walking in the street already inspires another yid. We're talking before about just on Shabbos how people walk in the street. There's great purpose for that. It inspires other yidden.
Right.
If we all drive to shul, no one would know anything. It would be regular, go to shul quietly and walk in the street. It has a big influence. So especially putting on tefillin and davening makes a big influence, a big impact. So that's what the Yemen is saying. Go to a place, say a bracha and a capital Tehillim. Yikra Moshe El Kol Yisrael Vayomer. Piece of the mimer. These are famous. It's still recording all the time. I wasn't talking all the time.
How's the room?
It was 39 minutes in.
It's 39 minutes. Whoever wants to take a picture of it, you can take a picture of it. So this is a very classical mimer I want to read. Calling out to the world. Kel Olam, the God of the world. So it says in the Pasha, Vayikra Moshe on page 207.
Wonder.
Parashat Yisrael. Yikra Vayikra Kol Yisrael. When Raven Aleim Atem Yisrael, they should call the Olim. You saw all the miracles, one Hamasas and David, the great miracles and wonders that your eyes saw. And then it says, Hashem didn't give you a heart to understand and the eyes to see. And then it says, it takes 40 years until we see. At first it says that he did see, and then it says he didn't see. He did to more. So one of the expressions is Gila Hama Asim Yisrael. Gila Nemer Kasu she saw Ro is Gila Eres Baruch. That first it says we saw the great revelation of Hashem from when we left Egypt. And then it says that Hashem didn't give us Einayim Lirais Ad Hayim Hazeh until today. 40 years later. Until that day, the Shnas HaRoim, Loi Nasa Laim Einayim Lirais is Gila. The Hobbes have to understand discrepancy over here.
Ad lo bichlal. There, right?
Ad lo bichlal. That only till today you couldn't see, but from now you could see. In Ksiv it says Vayita Eishel B'Ber Sheva. We read this on Rosh Hashanah, on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, that Avraham planted a Eishel B'Ber Sheva. Vayikra Sham B'Shem Hashem Kel Olam. And he called out in the name of Hashem, the God of the world. It doesn't say Kel HaOlam, but it says Kel Olam. Remember, because of Avraham Avinu Vayita Eishel B'Ber Sheva, that he planted the Eishel tree. Eishel also stands for Achila, Shina, and Lina. Place in to eat, drink, and to launch free. Avram advertised to all the people of the world that God is Kel Olam, is King, is the God world. It doesn't say of the world, because that would mean that there's two separate, there's the world and there's God of the world. But no, Kel Olam, that the world itself is existing of Hashem's divine energy and is part of Hashem. Eating Ksiv. Rav al Kol, Milo Yiracha. Kama Yichal and Kol Lekal. That even the nations of the world, idol worshippers, call God the God of the gods. It says, so even before Avraham Avinu publicized Hashem as the God of the world, the nations knew that the source of everything, of all the world and the spiritual realms, is from Hashem. Because of me, lo yirachah. It means even the Goyim acknowledge the existence of Hashem and they're fearful of Hashem. Like Chazal say, that the nations refer to God as the God of the gods. So although the Goyim know of Hashem as the source of life, but they still recognize themselves also as an entity, as an existence of their own, but not totally nullified to the divine. The mistake of the Goyim is that although Hashem gives life to the world, but the way Hashem gives life is b'derech ilo v'olo. Hashem created a realm that's close to Hashem, that resembles Hashem. And this is a cause to the next level, to the effect of the next level. And that effect is a cause to the next level. So to Mashal Adav gives a metaphor. Asaga Sufis, an intellectual concept that you understand in your mind, Malas Azulas, Elo, Meredis, Ava Belev, Elov, Olo. So So when you understand that a person is very special and uniquely talented and he has certain character traits that he's gifted with, that causes an effect of what? The mind that you understand about someone, certain things. It causes that you have a feeling of being drawn. Attachment to the person is a feeling of ava, of love. This is the greatest metaphor of cause and effect. An intellect affects is the cause for the emotion. Same thing as machshava and dibu. Thought is the cause of speech that comes after. So the nature is that the intellect is close to the emotions, and therefore, by nature, from the intellect evolves the emotions. And then from the emotion, there's the next level, which is thought, how to do good, thinking. So the person that you understand about, and you love that person, now you're thinking of how to do something for that person. And the last level is action. Thought, speech, and then action. So all this is a process of cause and effect. And this is a metaphor. So the first strength is the intellect that encloses itself in the emotions. So the intellect doesn't go lower into the lower levels, it only goes into the emotions. Emotions goes into the next level, one goes to the next. So what does this have to do with the Goyim's understanding of Hashem? The nations of the world, they understand, they comprehend that the say that the evolving chain of Hashem's connection to the world is only cause and effect, one level to the other level, gradually, step by step. That one step is closer to another one, although it's lower, but it's in proximity and it resembles it. The Daitam, according to that understanding, so according to that understanding, Hashem only gives attention, so to speak, and direct connection to the highest spiritual level. But under that, it's not God's doing anymore. He walked away from it. His whole connection is to the first level of creation, the effect, and after, lower than that, it's not God directly. So the physical world doesn't get so the physical world only receives its vitality from the level above it. So this perspective is a perspective of the nations of the world, is hinted in the verse, we say it every day in davening. Now is an insight into this passage in davening. What does it mean? Ram al kol goyim Hashem. That in the eyes of the goyim, Hashem is way up there, way above, and has no connection to the world. His glory is only in the Shemayim, in the spiritual, in the heavens, but no relationship directly to this created world. So they acknowledge the existence of Hashem. Hashem is the source of them. This is also what it means, that God is the God of the gods. He is the God, that means the first cause. But however, who do we receive vitality from is the other gods. That's what the Goyim say, Shem Kol Lulim, Amboyim, Mimenu, Shamshim, Tzayim, Beinay, Beinay, So, bottom line, the conclusion, according to the Goyim's perspective, the created beings are removed from Hashem. Chas v'shalom. Comes Avram Avinu when he teaches them something else. The God is the world. Hashem is the world. Hashem's presence is right here in the world. Pirush Hashem Avayehu Kel Olam Kula Chad. That Hashem, God of the world, is one. V'loi Kel Ha-Olam, and not the God of the world. Sha'olam Hu Yesh V'davim V'yatzmi. Not that the world is in existence, an autonomous existence for itself, and He gives it life. Einei Kain. It's not so. Avram Avinu recognized the truth. V'amad v'tzavach, and he stood and he proclaimed to spread this to all the people of the world. The world is not an existence of its own. It's not a mitzius. It receives its vitality from Hashem. Not that it only receives from a roundabout way, indirectly from Hashem its existence. That would mean kel olam, but rather kel olam, that there is no separate, unique existence to the world on its own. Is bound up completely with the light of Hashem that gives it vitality, that gives it life. When talking about, so this is a great metaphor always used in Chasidus. It helps understand many concepts. Ilo ve'ol, cause and effect. So there's certain things that trickle down through cause and effect. What would be the opposite of cause and effect? It would be yesh ma'ayin, creating something from nothing. That means there's no cause and effect. This that was just created had no way of being created other than the force that created it. Ilo ve'ol means that naturally this causes something else lower than it. And it resembles each other. You can see connection between like seichel, intellect, and emotions. The emotion is connected to the intellect and it resembles what the person understood about. That's what's reflected in the emotion. Same thing as thought and speech. So there's a direct connection, and you could see how this evolves from that. But the yesh ma'ayin, something from nothing, you can't see how this evolves from that. It was a force, a kach, ein sof of Hashem that created something from nothing. So this is what he explains. So coming from Ilo v'Olo, even the highest, the lowest, the Olol, Harisha, the first effect is not totally nullified to the Ilo, to the cause. So the effect is already initiated inside the cause. Although in reality the effect wasn't there yet. Gives a metaphor in midos, in emotions. Comes from intellect. So even the emotions already exist before even the intellect had described it. In Cain, Ilu, say that again, if it would be true to what the Goyim are saying, that the creation of the world is through cause and effect. So they're saying that there is a so in other words, they're saying there's always the existence of the world even before it was created. And Hashem is only the one to reveal this existence. But the truth is not so. What is the truth? That the world is created me'ayin, from nothing. There was no cause or existence of the world before Hashem decided to create it. Hashem created it out of nothing. The whole existence of the world is only renewed through the will of Hashem every minute. Hashem is called Yachol to create yesh, an existence of the world, physical, made ayin from nothing. The world is something that has no value comparison to Hashem Himself. The world doesn't have its existence on its own, but it's totally dependent on the koyach of Hashem to create it. Like we say, every day Hashem continuously creates the world from nothing. Another metaphor, a beautiful metaphor for cause and effect, is a teacher to a student. The teacher is greater, but the student also has a mind, he's able to understand. Once the teacher is able to relate to the student and give it over, so that's a gradual cause and effect and drawing down. But the way Hashem created the world is not like a teacher to a student, but something from nothing. So this was one of the callings of Avraham Avinu in a world. Know that the world doesn't have its own existence. He was telling it to Goyim. People come to understand the world doesn't exist on its own. It's a creator. It's Hashem who's making it exist from nothing every second. There's no cause for the world to exist before it was created. Its existence is only because Hashem is Kol Yachol and is able to create it from nothing. Therefore Hashem is Kel Olam, Kel ve'olam HaKol Echad. God and the world is one. Just like the name of a person is not the essence of a person. We see that a person wakes up from his sleep, from faint, when you call his name. So there's a connection between his name and his essence, and that's why you wake up when you call the person's name. The person turns to his name and calls on his name, right away he gives attention. Oh, that arrives. Oh. How are you? Hi. Okay. Shem Havai Baruch Hu Mizlavish Atech Chol Almin Bein Rak Bezushim Tzveim Leviz Baruch Hu Chad Mamish Azel Kelev. So just concluding over here. Shemishtalshels V'derech Ilu V'olam Is Nalbeshes Atzmus Ilu Izi Zizol Remir Like Shiviz V'derech and all those other Yilos Lumazah Shem Ha'adam Ini Namshel and Atzmus Namshel V'derech Ilu V'olam. Although a name is far away from the essence of the person, but it's not separate from the person. But it's bound up. The name is bound up with the person. It's Aleph. When a person chalish faints, they wake him up with his name. Is a raya. It's proof that his name is connected to that essence. Through the calling of the name, the soul continues to give off its aura, its light, its vitality to the body. What happens when a person fainted? The vitality of the soul is drawn back. Right? You don't see any life in the body anymore. There's no movement. By calling his name, it causes the soul to draw the light back. As this explained, the worlds that are created, spiritual realms are created from the name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei from Hashem, Meloshin Mahave, creator. There's no comparison of what's being created to the light. Qualitatively, there's a tremendous gap between what's being created and what's creating it is the light of Hashem. As far as the distance, as what a name is, name of a person to the essence of the person. Nevertheless, there is a ray of light of the Shem Havaya of Hashem to create us, create the world. Our whole existence is this light of Hashem. The creation of the world is Yesh Ma'ayin. There's no existence to the world without this light of Hashem. So this is what we read in Rosh Hashanah, what Avraham Avinu is proclaiming to the world. The existence of the world is from Yesh Ma'ayin, from Hashem every second. Say on that day the world will recognize that Hashem is one, His name is one. That means the energy that creates the world coming forth from Hashem. Yiyah, it says twice, base palming Yud K. Yiyah is 2 times Yud K. Shlo Yiyah, Chinas Vav K. It won't be Yud K and Vav K. Ke Vav, Chinas Amshav, Elo Yiyah, Hakol, Chinas Yud K, V'mata, K'nei V'mata. Mashiach comes, we recognize our perspective will be the same perspective of the way it truly is from above. Till the Mashiach comes, we have our own perspective in life. That we are existence, we are Yesh, we are autonomous existence on our own, from nothingness, because we don't see the Kedusha, the light of Hashem. The true perspective is the one from above, that we are nothing. And Hashem is the true Yesh, and the light of Hashem is the true existence. When Mashiach comes, will be Yihiyah, Yud K, Yud K. Achin Eksiv, V'nirgin, Nafri, Aluf. Sh'adam Neisim, Yitzin Neisim, Yitanug Ya'elam, B'nitzchenes, V'niz Zegaris Hashem, V'chinas Niflat, Sh'lo Yachal Liyas, V'chinas Hashem Echad Shmei Echad. So this revelation that will be when Mashiach comes, Mayim Ahum, in that day, is dependent on our service throughout the time of Golus. We prepare ourselves for the dwelling of the Shekhinah, of the light of Hashem. So after understanding, in our lifetime we have to perceive and understand this about our existence. That our whole existence is only dependent in the light of Hashem. There's no other existence but Hashem. Like we say that Ein Oid Milvadeh. There's nothing but Hashem. There's no other existence but Hashem. So this is something we have to come to recognize.
The flesh.
Here on earth. Beishiv Gam Hu Eliba. He also puts to his heart this truth. It causes a shrinkage in our ego. Once we recognize that it's all Hashem, our ego shrinks, our existence, our wills, the will that we want, I am, the natural condition of the human. And our entire focus becomes to be nullified to Hashem once we recognize this. So now is already a preparation for that we come to recognize Hashem. So we prepare ourselves for this of Hashem Echad V'Shmei Echad. Just as through this service we draw upon ourselves feeling of nullification to Hashem, and we have also the understanding of the oneness of Hashem, that Hashem is the only true existence. So too would be the opposite. When a person feels his own existence, his own will and desire, and in the physical material world. Then a person will stand firm and strong to fight against another person's will and desire if you feel threatened by it. So if a person's whole life is self-centered and egotistical, that's when he gets into conflicts with other people because he sees how others as a threat to him. Okay, and also another evil character traits like this attitude, he disconnects himself from the true oneness of Hashem. And this, says Shlomo Melech, v'nirgen mafrit aluf. Nirgen mafrit aluf, initially. And Yidesha Adam who nirgen, so a person being nirgen, that means he feels himself as his own existence, and therefore he complains about everything that's happening around him. You know the famous story of the Chassid would complain that everyone treads upon him in the shul. Everyone pokes him and makes fun of him. So what did the Rebbe tell him? Stop spreading yourself around the whole shul. Be a little bit more humble to yourself. That's why everyone steps on you. It's so easy as Vav K, Ma'abdus Yud K. With this type of attitude, he separates Yud K from Vav K. That shouldn't feel in the existence of himself in the world, Yud K, in the name of Hashem. But when Mashiach comes, it will be Yud K, Yud K. There won't be any perspective other than the true. This is what he concludes. Zel Gama, Mashmos HaKosov, L'tava Yevakish Nifrod. Bishishakur V'tavus Yitzim, someone who is pursuing in his life his own indulgence, physical, material pleasures of what he wants. Like it says, the pursuit of taiva, Yevakish Nifrod, causes himself a separation. He separates Yud K from Vav K. And doesn't feel in his heart that ain't the ilm of nothing but Hashem Shalom. You see over here how this, it's a minor of the Rebbe over here, how key to all of the learning of Chasidus is it makes you more humble. Makes a person humble. And the worst problem, it means the first ego is the ego that causes, it's a cause to all the evil character traits of a person. If a person is able to hold in check his humility and hold down the ego, all the other character traits, the person becomes a refined person in every aspect. And that's when you see emphasis in Chasidus, that it doesn't deal with evil character. It doesn't get into pointing out many different traits of a human being and how disgusting it is and how to... It only deals with one thing, humility. And with that, automatically, everything else comes into check. And we see how this is delivered in this mind. We talk about the Eivishter, existence of Hashem, and we're not an existence of our own. It's only the light of Hashem. Yesh ma'ayin every second. That's the takeaway. That's the feeling, and it crushes our ego, makes you a better person in every aspect. Chaim, bracha.
Chaim. Right.
And only then can you say l'chaim. When your ego is crushed, then it doesn't have a bad effect. It only has a positive effect.
A lot of people's egos have been crushed lately. Mm-hmm. A lot of people's egos I know are crushed lately.
Why? Because
so everyone's saying l'chaim.
Because of the elections.
See, you just win the migrant.
That's what I'm saying.
this friend of ours, he lost by a few votes.
I can't believe I lost my.
You
Alex
thousand?
Steiner.
What,
Like 100
for a
votes.
judge? Was it for
Like 100
for a
votes.
judge?
Yeah.
I read something on the WhatsApp. Wait, there's a WhatsApp, but there's a Torah app. The Torah all the time. Maybe you tape this. Are you taping the?
Yeah, he's taking it.
So there's something. Do you know about this Torah learning all day? There's an app.
Torah anytime.
Torah, is that
That's right. It's Torah learning. Oh my God.
This is Torah learning all day.
All day
Look,
long. All she likes is that.
I'm
Torah
gonna,
learning all day. Okay.
and this, if you, I don't know if you want to put on there. I don't know how to do it. I just.
What's a WhatsApp group?
It's a WhatsApp group.
You have to sign up for it.
They call things
Oh, I know.
Chasidus. It's not just
She sends you
what do you call it? The Spartan guys, the big party speakers. That's on their names.
It's
You
Rashi.
won't believe. I get 57 a day.
I don't know if it will
You don't
help
have
you.
enough to, I mean, but some of them I can't read everything. But that's
Oh,
what she
Mr.
says.
Rubinstein's on there. It says.
I'm on there.
Oh, Torah learning all day.
So you know the guy Andrew Gillen, who won the Democratic nomination?
Yeah, right.
Black? Is he black?
Do you know
He's
who
the
gave
mayor
him
of the
money?
city of Tel
Who
Aviv.
gave him money? Soros?
You got it.
Oh, really? Soros only.
George Soros gave him money to him.
Hopefully he won't. Hopefully he won't win the again. But
It's a problem. I mean, I don't know what color it is, but I'm not happy with Soros.
Make a big word.
Soros.
Soros.
It is
Shmuel
Soros.
Kendall. Yeah. A yid. Who else? Nothing less than a yid.
Are we plugging in?
Probably little.
Who's still on?
And after
Oh, shoot.
George Soros?
You got delayed that. Delayed that. I'm in trouble now.
Why? Oh, we're still on.
Oh my gosh. Donald Trump said that.
Oh,
Not working, going through.
you're in trouble for everything else.
As soon as he made tshuva.
Oh, I saw some of your colleagues. I was at St. Petersburg and Moscow. So we ate by them. We davened by them. It was to the herd.
Presidents.
Yeah. And then St. Petersburg. One of the Babauchi runs a minion at a hotel for Shabbos, so we ate with them. And it was not his name, but it was. And what they're doing, they're 50 or 60 most between shuls and things they do there throughout Russia. It's amazing. And these shuls are beautiful. They have restaurants there to feed the island. And the many even there that were still there that don't know, they're just grandkids from way back, from the great grandkids. It's
How'd you get around there? Can you rent a car there, or you just?
no, we went with a group for this.
Yeah, tour.
You have to join a group, and by the way, Americans need a visa, and it takes. I didn't realize how much it was going to cost. I needed the expediter and stuff. It's really $50 a piece. I wouldn't do it again. Israelis on your passport, you go in straight, no problem. If you want a cruise ship, you go to St. Petersburg, you don't need a visa. But if you want, I guess if you want to go to, I just saw that now. If you want to go to Moscow, you do.
So like a week?
I went for 10
weekend?
days, 5 days in each city.
And what tour? What company was it?
I'm all
Company I
worried
work
about
with
myself.
AAC.
Yeah.
It was the worst
So it was a
killer
cruise trip.
on
So it was a cruise trip.
No, not cruise. No, cruise. We flew. We flew to show visit the kids. And then then we flew from Aeroflot. Aeroflot flies the
Correct.
what do you call it, the planes from France. What are they called? The good planes. Not Air France. The good planes that are made in France or in Britain. You know, like the opposite of Boeing. The Airbuses. I think they fly Airbus. So the old days to fly those
Airflots?
the Airflot, the old.
I flew an old one.
Oh, I did a couple times to the Ukraine ones. With the
I
propeller.
mean,
Put them over here.
I flew that one.
Which one do you think is for my daughter?
Oh, you said it.
Which just Palace
I'm acknowledging it was.
come on.
this is the double
She
bathroom.
said to this one too. No.
My brother was once on an airport plane,
Yeah.
and in the middle of the flight, the pilot he comes out with a toolbox from the front and starts walking to the back to fix something.
A lot of catching up to do.
So we'll have to get going.
So the problem with
The
that is,
Champagne landed.
the problem with the ACI sometimes they say they go places and then they back out in the last minute.
I don't know, they have to have enough people maybe. But that can happen to other tour groups too. You need them. I'm not defending that. I just.
No, but I know a lot of
I
these
don't
are.
know what's on a cruise with, it's not the major cruise ship that you would
It's smaller, like the Cyprus ship. Turkey was smaller.
the guys at the Venice one.
do it as a child.
How many days a week you going to Chasidus?
Wednesday afternoon, tomorrow morning I gotta drop them off.
Put a different one
And then like every other week I get, well,
It'll be a different color.
every other week Monday morning and Saturday afternoon. And Friday at 2 to pick them up. So give or take 3 maybe.
Or just put it in the
Then I gotta go to Base Yaakov and pick my daughter up. So it's like, yeah, it's not too far. It's just there's traffic at that time, you know. So just that little stretch there.
You mean Italian girl or Jewish girl? Italian girl. Jewish girl, I think.
The film is, ignore it. I can see you emotion.
You have a Catholic, right?
You know?